Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed supporters, family, friends who are joining both in person and virtually. Welcome to what promises to be an evening of inspiration, wisdom, and the celebration of entrepreneurship. My name is Gwendolyn V. Jenkins. I'm the president and CEO of the Malcolm Jenkins Foundation. I'm also Malcolm's mom, as well as two other sons, Martin and Miles. We are a public charity dedicated to nurturing the potential of youth in underserved communities and fostering positive change through learning experiences, education programs, and opportunities that will help them succeed in life and become contributing members of their community. We operate in states of Ohio, New Jersey, Pennsylvania and Louisiana, all places where Malcolm has called home. Today, we are honored to be here in this moment to bring together two extraordinary individuals who embody the spirit of learning, education, community empowerment, and success. Our host, a young entrepreneur, 9-year-old third grade student at Grace Christian School in Columbus, Ohio, who is set to make waves in the business world. He's a thinker, a reader, a writer, a creator, and a trailblazer with a unique vision of unwavering determination. It is with great pleasure that I introduce the driving force behind tonight's conversation, the dynamic and innovative founder of Sam's Buckeye Press, Mr. Sam Malcolm Cash. Also, sharing the stage with Sam, the visionary philanthropist and founder of the Malcolm Jenkins Foundation, who needs no introduction. He's not only a two-time Super Bowl champion, Ohio State Hall of Famer, but also a businessman, tireless advocate for youth, social justice, and community empowerment. And by no coincidence, he is also a thinker, a reader, a writer, and an author of his recent book, What Winners Won't Tell You, Lessons from a Legendary Defender. Please join me in welcoming the one and only Mr. Malcolm Jenkins. And without further delay, let's dive into this enriching conversation and witness just the exchange and knowledge and inspiration and insight between Malcolm and rising star Sam. Thank you.
Salam and you. Sami, Samuel Malcolm Cash. I said in Amharic, hi, how are you doing? My name is Samuel Malcolm Cash.
Sam, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing good? I'm happy to be with you.
Me too.
Yeah. What you got for me?
When did you first start playing football?
I first started playing football, I think, when I was about 7 or 8 years old, in like the 3rd or 4th grade.
That's nice. What did you most enjoy about your time as a player as an Ohio State Buckeye?
My favorite memories, I had a lot of fun with my teammates, but I think my favorite memory was beating Michigan in 2006. Just because everybody rushed the field, people were snatching up big chunks of grass out of the stadium. It was actually the last game, the very last game that had a grass field in Ohio Stadium. So it was a lot of nostalgic moments. We went to the national championship that day. It was senior day. Troy Smith won the Heisman Trophy that year. So that was a big victory and a big day. So I enjoyed that memory.
Share how you felt when you were inducted into the OSU Hall of Fame.
I felt good. It was one of those things that I never really was aiming to make the Hall of Fame when I came to Ohio State. I was looking just to get my education, go to college, and play ball. I didn't even think I would make it to the NFL. So to now come back here years later and be inducted into the Hall of Fame, a year after retiring from the NFL, was big, especially because I got inducted next to, great athletes like Nick Mangold and a few others that, are historic OSU athletes. So it meant a lot for me. I know, even though I wasn't aiming for it, I know it means a lot to those who kind of have helped me along the way, those who are fans of mine and supporters of mine, to have that legacy remembered for years to come is definitely something special.
That's nice. How did you feel after you graduated from OSU and started playing NFL?
I was a little scared, to be honest. You go from being really good in your small pockets of the world, right? So in your school or your neighborhood, you're the best or you're really good. And then you go to high school and you play other towns and you become the best in your state and then you become the best in your region. And but when you go to college, you're playing against and then you go to the college ranks and you play against the best in the country. And then you go to the professional ranks, and it is even harder because now you're playing against the top 1% of football players in the world. Um, and some of them are much older than you, some of them are your age. It's very competitive. There's money, there's a lot of business, a lot of things were a little bit scary going from college, which was a lot more controlled, to that environment, which was professional and nobody's babysitting you. But I felt really, really prepared through my journey with my parents, things that they taught me, things I learned in college about how to be organized and how to be professional and make sure that I prioritize my time correctly, that I took care of my body and surrounded myself around other people who were successful and had good habits. All of those things I learned before I went to the pros, so that when I finally got there, even though I was nervous, I fit in really well. I already knew how to do those things. And when I got there and looked at which guys were having the most success, who could I copy, who could I, find to be a mentor, um, they were doing things that I already knew how to do. So I knew I was at least in the right direction.
That's great. Please share to us a few highlights of your NFL career.
Few highlights. So I made the Pro Bowl 3 times. I've won 2 Super Bowls with 2 different teams in 2 different cities, which is really cool. And in both times, it was the first Super Bowl for either of those cities. So that was really cool to be the first. Kind of like I think you told me I'm the first interview for this show, right? Yeah, I'm all kind of first, but I think some of my favorite memories, people won't even remember. They're like plays in a game where, I did something that a teammate of mine, me and a teammate worked out or figured out within the week and did it in a game and it worked how I thought. Those are some of like my favorite, moments, actually playing and enjoying it with my teammates, figuring out problems and then finding ways to go be victorious. But I've had a lot of, you play football as long as I have, from the age of 13, or I'm sorry, age of 8, 7, 8, all the way to 34. You got a lot of memories, a lot of good memories. Um, so yeah.
Okay. As a winner, please tell us your experience of your 2 Super Bowl victories.
As a winner, the reason that the 2 Super Bowl victories mean a lot to me for different reasons. The first one was one where I was really in a situation. I was a young player. It was my rookie year. Again, I was still nervous. I wasn't a starter or the star or the leader. I was much more in a smaller role, and I got thrown into the Super Bowl on the biggest stage on a team that has never won the Super Bowl against Peyton Manning, um, and had to figure out how to navigate that situation, but was able to slow the game down and realize that no matter how big the stage is, no matter how bright the lights are, the task was still the same. It was still the same game that I played out in the street or in the yard as a kid. Um, and so we ended up winning that game and bringing the first Super Bowl back to New Orleans. The second Super Bowl was so much different because it was really about staying focused through a lot of things. We were a really good team. Um, we won like 13 games or something like that in the regular season. And then we lose our quarterback and everybody starts to doubt you. And this time I was a leader on the team. I was a captain, you know, a key contributor, and was a big part in making sure that the team was able to stay focused during the good parts of the season when we were doing really well, but also in the trying times of the season when we lost a quarterback, when we had some other guys get injured, some of our key players get injured, and then we didn't play well late in the year. But obviously, we rallied back and then came against the great Tom Brady, and we needed all of the faith and you know production from the guys on the team. And so as a leader, that victory was probably the one I'm most proud of because that team had been through an entire journey, was able to stay focused and stay poised. And you know, with every excuse in the world to quit or fold it in and did it, and we were rewarded for it. So that's probably um as a winner and a leader, you know, why those two moments are most significant.
That's great. What is your greatest accomplishment as a football player?
My greatest accomplishment as a football player would be, I think, starting the Players Coalition. The Players Coalition was started by myself and Anquan Bolden. It's an organization started by football players, but was for athletes who want to be engaged in things in their community. Like they want to help people get registered to vote, or they want to help people understand, um, you know, how the political systems in their communities work. If they want to uh, raise money for educational resources for kids, what we do is show them how to, or link them with experts, show them the lay of the land, and help them with resources to create those events or those programs that are necessary, and really activate athletes. So we started that with a group of, well, myself and Anquan Bolden and maybe 10 other guys. And we've grown that to 12 other professional leagues that sit under our organization. So as an athlete, like that's never been done before. And that's one of the things I'm most proud of is that not only was I able to, you know, focus and create a really solid football career, and play for a long time at a very high level, but while doing that was able to still use my platform as a football player and an athlete to really advocate for change, and not only just as an individual but create a pathway for other athletes to do the same thing for years to come. Now that I'm no longer an athlete and I'm off of that stage, that work still continues. And so for me, that's really that's how you build legacy. Those are the things that people remember, and for me, that's what I'm most proud of um, as a football player.
That's good. Why did you start the Malcolm Jenkins Foundation and what are its goals?
Yeah, so I started the Malcolm Jenkins Foundation because I was listening to my mom, like all good kids should do. But you know, I was doing a lot of work with giving back. I was taught by my parents to give back to the community. So I was doing things like reading books to kids. I was giving out food, book bag drives, things like that. I had a camp, but my mom really said, "Hey, we should think about having a real focus so that we can have real impact with people, and not just help people just for a small amount of time, but really impact people's lives in a consistent way." And so we started the Malcolm Jenkins Foundation in 2010. That was my second year in the league in New Orleans. And since then, we have grown to serve communities in 4 different states: Louisiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. All of the places that I've called home. And our focus is really in effectuating positive change in the lives of youth. And our particular focus and how we do that has changed over the years. Our programs, some have been in existence from the beginning, like our scholarship program, because we believe in education, but also some other things have changed. We were big on health and wellness for a long time, and did that through our football camps. And now that I'm no longer in sports and focused a lot more on the business and art space, we began to pivot some of our programming as well to encompass things like financial literacy, but also showing people how to have alternative career pathways that are not just about going through the academia, but also through the creative spaces in business and private business. So it's been really good. We serve a lot of people, a lot of different types of people, and a lot of communities. We show up differently in every community because we believe, we want to um, alleviate the pain where the need is, and not just do charity. And that's been really impactful for us. So um, yeah, that's one of the things that's where we started, how we got to where we are. That's what we believe in, and we're still growing. So anyway, you or any of your followers want to help support, they can go to the malcolmjenkinsfoundation.org and find all of our programs. You can volunteer there and find out all of the things that we're doing across the country.
That's amazing. Why did you write your book, What Winners Won't Tell You, and what is the main message for readers?
Yeah, I wrote it because I know that oftentimes athletes don't get to tell their own stories, right? Especially athletes who come from team sports like me. You're always taught that the team is first, and you don't make it about you. But oftentimes in that, what happens is you go your whole career, and the sportscasters and journalists and fans all get to tell the story about you and your life and who you are. And we rarely get to hear the athletes talk. So I wanted to make sure that my story wasn't one-sided, that people didn't just see the championships or the Pro Bowls and the accolades, but they also saw the hard work, the failures, and the perseverance that it takes to be uh, great at anything. And yeah, and especially because I have two girls now, another, the next generation who, looks at success. I remember looking at people who I thought was successful, and not knowing how hard it is, right? Not knowing the kind of work you have to put in, but only seeing the success, and then being kind of shocked when I ran into the pain of discipline, or the loneliness of trying to be great. And so I want to make sure that people know all that goes into the things that I've accomplished, and leave a roadmap for those coming behind me to not make the same mistakes, but to know what to look out for, and how to navigate those waters. So it really is what I would have told myself if I were able to go back to, the rookie version of me and give myself some advice.
Okay. I'm interested in football and business. What is your advice for young people like me? Mr. Jenkins, I would like to say, Mr. Kanalu, thank you and Amhara kindly for taking time out of your business schedule for me and to help launch Sam's Buckeye Press. I appreciate you and your leadership.
I appreciate you. If you don't mind though, can I ask you a few questions?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm always interested when I'm talking to the younger generation under us, especially because we serve a lot of kids in the foundation, and not often do you guys have the microphone. So I wanted to know, as a young entrepreneur like yourself, what are some of the things about the future that you are excited about?
I'm excited about when I promote my business. Um, and it just becomes popular. I can help other kids to start a business, and so they can get the message and know instead of what it help. They can like what should I say? What more should I put it? They could help their parents, like if they had a poor family.
Yeah. Okay,
Like
that's actually a really good segue to my next question. It will be what do you think like older folks like myself, what do you think that we can learn from kids like you?
hmm, that you could learn.
What do you think like something what do you think makes you special? What's your secret sauce?
That you could just be you.
Hmm.
That's how I feel. That you just be
Yeah.
yourself instead of like trying to be like not compare yourself to other people.
That is a word, brother. So that's a big message in my book. It took me a long time to figure that out. I like, especially nowadays with social media and things like that, we're constantly trying to compare ourselves to other people. I used to have I I had a picture of myself and this other player from another team, and his stats were way better than mine. And had both our stats together, and his were so much better than mine. I used to pin it in my locker as motivation. And realistically, I didn't realize it till a few later years down the road. I was really just frustrated myself because I was constantly reminding myself that I wasn't him, right? That I wasn't this other guy, but I wasn't focusing on what made me special. So no, I think you're already ahead of the game. How old are you?
9.
9. Yeah. Keep being you. Don't let the world change you from thinking that you are special and enough because you are ahead of it. And I'm learning that from you. So keep it up, all right?
Okay.
Um, what are some things you think, when it comes to getting kids more involved in business or getting kids more excited about business? What are some things that adults can do, um, to introduce it? Or what are some things that get you excited about business?
Mm, the thing that gets me excited about business is like business. I can make it in a fun way. I can like make business a way that like enjoys me. Like if I like doing like something about football, I can do something like football. Like I can write about football, like in the press. If you like writing and if you like football, you can do like combine that and make it into a business.
Hmm. I like how you think. A lot of people are trying to figure out how to blend the things that they love to the things that they work on, right? A lot of people, will work really, really hard to have a job, but it's not doing what they love. And I think all of life, I know for me, my whole journey is how do I blend my business with the things that I love? Because then it's not work, right? It's just it's just what I do. That's awesome. I think that's the all right. One more. Oh, that's what I wanted. One more last question. With your own example and the legacy that you're building and working on, and that you'll leave behind, how do you plan on and hope to impact other kids in the world through your example?
That they should know that it's never too late or never too early to start a business.
Hmm, that's 100% right. I wish you the good. I wish you luck. Definitely send me some information on how to support the business. I definitely want to lift you up. You're well on your way. I didn't start a business until I was 23 or 24. So you got a big head start, man. I'm so excited to see what you do in the coming years. I think you might be the next example for years to come.
Okay, I'll inform you.
I got you.
Awesome, awesome. Let's give it up for Sam. How exciting was that? As we bring the conversation to a close, I just want to extend our deepest appreciation to Sam's dad, Malcolm, Sam's mom, Sulema. I hope I didn't mess that up too bad. For sharing your wonderful son to the world, for nurturing his vision. Thank you, Sam Malcolm Cash, for steering this insightful conversation. And thank you, Malcolm, for giving your time to share parts of your journey, your passion, and your insight with not only Sam, but everyone who's here. This evening has been a celebration of mentorship, entrepreneurship, the power of community support. On behalf of the Malcolm Jenkins Foundation, we thank you, and we hope that this conversation continues to resonate, inspire, and spark positive change. Thank you again, and good night.
Good night. You're welcome. Enjoy the book.
Can't wait to get it.
Can't wait.
Can't wait to get the book.
All right, Sam, we'll talk soon, brother.
Okay, bye.
Bye.